Good morning. Welcome to Meditation Lesson 3, Video 6. Now, let me get this right out of the way. This ain't going to make any sense unless you're looking at the latest free version of the PDF entitled First Set of Lesson Text, because all these lessons and all their videos are commentaries on this practice text. So I'm going to tell you how to get your hands on right now the latest free version of this PDF. One moment. So here's the deal. Right below this video there should be a whole long list of links and their explanations. If you don't see them, there's an easy fix. In the lower, towards the lower right hand corner of the video screen, you should see a little YouTube icon. Give that a click or two, and that'll take you to the dedicated page for this video on YouTube. About an inch below the video, there'll be a button that reads Show More. Give that bad boy a click, and you'll observe a list of links and their explanations the length of your arm. The first one will just connect you to one of my Facebook pages. You're welcome to like that. The second one will take you to a page on my website that basically says, hey, here are the 52 lessons. And then underneath each lesson it lists a whole bunch of videos, sometimes 5, sometimes 40. So here's the deal. If this is your first time listening to my talking head, do yourself a favor, go back to lesson 1, video 1, and start at the beginning. What's that? You say you're a big-time meditator and you need to start at the beginning? Well, then you'll have no problem, someone as spiritual as you will have no problem practicing humility. And if you do have a problem practicing humility, then perhaps you're not as spiritually developed as you think you are. Mwahahaha. Should I do a Dr. Evil right now? Okay. The third link will take you to a page entitled Class Materials for the First Quarter. So when you get there, the first 3 links are free. The first one is a free essay. Download that bad boy. The second thing is an image, very similar to this one here. Download that into your computer for free. The third thing, if I remember correctly, is a link to the latest version of the PDF for, you guessed it, the first set of lesson texts. So pause my video, download that bad boy, and come back to me. I ain't going nowhere. Are you back? Are you good to go? Woohoo! Let's dig in. Join me, if you would, on page 69. All tantrikas love this page. Don't know why. It's above me. So here's the deal. In the past 3 pages, we've already explored compassion, both as a chant and as a mantra-oriented contemplation, both of which have been distinctly verbal. Now we are going to do a completely silent set of 2 contemplations. Eventually this will grow to 4 contemplations. But I've learned that to take my time, I don't want to rush you, don't want to make your head explode. I assure you there will be plenty of challenging ideas to keep your heart and mind busy until the future lessons roll on down the pike. Forgive me. It's been said that hot water, raw honey, and cinnamon are a wonderful tonic for the immune system. Alright, so as we look at the page 69 now, you might say, hey Lama Jigme, I've got some wonky page numbering. How do I know I'm on the right page? You'll know you're on the right page because the heading reads Compassion Training, and right below that, in italics, it reads Silent. There should be two exercises. The first one reads, why take fill in the blank? And we could use pain or rage or fear or sadness. And either of those is appropriate. The default I like to use is sadness because most people, if asked, will say, well, I could use more happiness and less sadness. So let's work with that right now. We're going to ask the contemplative question, why take sad? And the out-breath, we're going to mentally, silently invoke Chenrezig. Zig. Now, if you've been watching all my videos, the past 2.5 lessons, you'll already know that I teach assumptive, well-worded, rhetorical, mantra-empowered, contemplative questions. And if there were two types of questions, lazy bastard questions and hard-ass questions, this would be a lazy bastard question. Why? Why is it a lazy bastard question? Because you don't gotta answer it. That's right. Your only job is to ask the question on the in-breath, and during the out-breath, simply intend to relax into the mental invocation of the Buddha of compassion. Let's play with this right now. Mentally recite, why take sad? Then on the out-breath, mentally recite Chenrezig. If you don't know who Chenrezig is, if you don't know how to pronounce Chenrezig, then you haven't watched the previous videos. You've been busted. Let's dig in. So this contemplation is all about motivation. Remember how we discussed in previous videos that there's a part of the mind that just loves to answer questions, and it doesn't care if its answers are correct, incorrect, or downright irrational. It just wants to answer questions. And every time we allow our mind to answer questions, it reinforces the premise behind the questions. So if we ask, why take sadness? What are the premises? Well, that it is possible to take away sadness, that we can affect the world or the universe we live in, that we could take sadness, we could have the ability, as well as the desire. And so by merely playing with this question, we're reinforcing all these profoundly empowering possibilities. The same possibilities that were planted in the Amita Sutta. Now let's continue to the second exercise. It is not a contemplation, it is a concentration. It is a time to exercise our intention, our volition, if you will. We intend, we will, take sad smoke. Out breath, we relax into Chenrezig. What does that mean, take sad smoke? What's sad smoke? So that is a very short way of saying, wouldn't it be cool if we could imagine all the hearts and minds of every living being in the 10 directions in the 3 times, which means past, present, and future. And the 10 directions are the 4 primary points of the compass, the 8 intermediate points, and up and down. In other words, all directions. So you might not be able to visualize it. You might just have to conceptualize it, and that's perfectly okay. And what if all their sadness manifested as black smoke? And what if we were able to take that away, and just right now you and me might close our mouths and breathe through our nostrils. And what if our next breath, instead of breathing in pure clean air, we breathed in everyone's sadness manifested as smoke and took it away from them? How heroically compassionate would that be? Now you could raise your hand and say, "Excuse me, but isn't smoke a carcinogen?" Well, yes it is. And we could also say,
Excuse me, but don't we already have enough sadness as it is? Do we really need any more?
That's my very bad imitation of Gilbert Gottfried. And the answer is no, we don't need any more sadness. So we can then ask,
well, then is it at all safe to take away other people's sadness?
and here's the neat thing. According to the teachings, according to the Shastras, here's the idea. Taking away other people's sufferings and the cause of their sufferings, or at least intending to, at least wishing to, is the essence of compassion. Acting on that intention generates vast amounts of good karma that purify our sufferings and their causes and increase our happiness in their causes. So says the teaching, so says the Dalai Lama, so says the Shastras, so says Dilgo Khyentse. Now, does that mean it's true? No, it doesn't. Does that mean you should believe in it? Please don't. But could that be an empowering idea? That's a empowering possibility to explore. That's all we're going to do. We're going to play with this every morning, every night, for 6 consecutive days, and notice the results. If your life turns into a screaming volcano of despair, then it's probably not working for you. But if this is increasing your compassion, if this is increasing your freedom from sadness, ironically enough, then this may be powerful enough to keep in your spiritual arsenal. Another thing to consider is this: in the out-breath, we're mentally invoking Chenrei Zig, which according to the Mahayana teachings, which according to the Tantrayana teachings, invoking the name of Buddha is a source of, you guessed it, good karma. So both the compassion and the invocation generate good karma that protect us from the possibility of suffering from other people's sadness and their causes. Now, once again, this is not dogma to be believed, but possibilities to be tested in the crucible of our own body, not through logic, not through intuition, but through practice. That's profoundly important. So let's play with this right now. Take sad smoke, Chenrei Zig. In both India and in China, there were Buddhist Mahayana sects whose primary practice was to chant a Buddha's name, either verbally or mentally. Both in India and in China, there was another Mahayana sect who did. The first Mahayana sect I was referring to was the Pure Land sect, who focused primarily on the Buddha Amitabha. And, of course, that's Base Macaque in the background. Base Macaque's experiencing existential ennui. Oops. Here you go. And another sect, the Buddha of Compassion sect, both in India and Tibet, would also invoke the Buddha of Compassion in India as Avalokiteshvara, as endorsed by the 25th chapter of the Lotus Sutra, and in China as Quan Yin Bosatsu. I'm sorry, Quan Yin. I forgot how to say Bodhisattva in Chinese. It's been a while. But anyway, so these are not foreign concepts. These are concepts that have been taught and practiced in Mahayana Buddhism for many, many, many centuries. Does it make them true? No, it doesn't. Antiquity does not equal authenticity. Oh, well, do you want to get down, little boy? Do you want to get down? There you go. There you go. Oh, those fickle pussycats. But I mention this just so that you know that this isn't stuff I'm making up. But once again, the test of the teachings is their efficacy when consistently applied enthusiastically in one's own life. So right now, let's practice. Take sad smoke, Chenrei Zig. even though I have brain damage, even though I have a bad memory, I still remember the first day I received these teachings, and it was as if I was Paul on the road to Damascus with the scales falling off my eyes. It was just profound. It was a great opportunity to take a break from being a selfish bastard. Sometimes we're selfish bastards out of malice. Sometimes we're selfish bastards out of fear. And it's so nice to have an exercise that helps us take a break from the fear and the aggression that makes us self-centered. And to find a spiritually profitable way to cultivate concern for the welfare of others. Well, that's all of today's lesson. I thank you for your time and your kind attention. I thank you for your PayPal donations. I thank you for your enthusiasm to grow both intellectually and emotionally and spiritually, and to become the person that your doggy already thinks you are. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, before you go, I want to remind you of a handful of things. Number one, in the bottom right-hand corner, there should be a like button. Looks like a thumbs up. Give that bad boy a click. That should reveal some share buttons, some social media buttons. Give those a click. And before you go, in the upper left-hand corner, that should be right around here, find the subscribe button. Then make your way to the YouTube homepage. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll find a tab that says Manage Subscriptions. Look up Lama Jigme and click the box to the right. That way, you'll receive email notifications every time I upload another video. Also included in the list of links below the video is the registration link so you can participate in the next series of weekly webinars. When? When do they begin? Monday, the 7th of January. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.